What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, well-renowned trainer, Hall of Famer, boxing pundit, analyst, now podcast host, Teddy Atlas. He responds and absolutely goes in on former unified lightweight world champion, superstar boxer, turned junior welterweight title contender, Teofimo Lopez, and Teofimo Lopez father, trainer, and manager, Teofimo Lopez Sr., and what's next for them and how this last fight played out for them, okay? With that said, Teofimo Lopez, in his last fight, he took on a guy that was supposed to be made to order to beat, okay? I told everybody that this was a tougher fight than people anticipated, because he was initially supposed to fight Jose Pedraza, okay? And that fell through. Now Teofimo Lopez, who's 18 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 13 wins by way of knockout, 25 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. He took on Sandor Martin, who was 40 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 13 wins by way of knockout, 29 years of age, 5'7.5" with a 70-inch arm reach, okay? Sandor Martin, he shocked the world back in October 2021 when he took on 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Mikey Garcia. And he actually should have won a unanimous decision against Mikey Garcia, but he ended up getting a majority decision victory over Mikey Garcia. Then he beat Jose Felix, okay, unanimous decision. Now, when he beat Mikey Garcia was 40 wins with 1 loss and no draws, okay? 39 wins by way of knockout, okay? 30 wins by way of knockout, okay? Mikey Garcia, this was a showcase fight for Mikey Garcia. He had lost to Errol Spence Jr. back in March of 2019, okay? Then he beat Jesse Vargas in a very tough fight, unanimous decision, but he won the fight, okay? Then this was supposed to be Mikey Garcia's re-announcement in second career versus Sandor Martin, a slick southpaw, okay? And Sandor Martin is from Spain. He's a southpaw, and he's relatively not unknown here in the States. But I told everybody, after I watched Sandor Martin preparing for Mikey Garcia, I said he might give Mikey Garcia problems with his foot speed. He's a southpaw. He's elusive. He's accurate. He has a high ring IQ, and he's quick. And he beat Mikey Garcia. Then when initially Teofimo Lopez was supposed to fight Pedraza, and Pedraza pulled out the fight, and they replaced Pedraza with Sandor Martin, I said, this is a tougher fight, okay, than Pedraza, for Teofimo Lopez, okay? Again, Pedraza is, a fighter that's 29 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 14 wins by way of knockout. He was knocked out 1 time in his career, 33, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach, okay? Now, Pedraza, he was coming off a split decision draw to Richard Comey. He didn't look that good in that fight. He looked like he took a major step back, Pedraza did. He didn't look good at all. And so he was made to order for Teofimo Lopez, okay? He's an orthodox fighter. But again, he didn't look good. So what did they do? Pedraza had to pull out, and they replaced him with Sandor Martin. I said, this is a tougher fight for Teofimo Lopez, right? And it was just that, okay? Because Sandor Martin actually should have gotten a nod. He knocked him down officially. Then it was an unofficial knockdown that should have been counted. It should have been 2 knockdowns, which would have cemented Sandor Martin's victory over Teofimo Lopez, who would have been 2 fights removed from the first loss of his career to George Kambosos Jr. But they made sure that didn't happen, okay? And so Teddy Atlas, completely unhappy about this, Teddy Atlas absolutely goes in, okay, on Teofimo Lopez Sr., and he lets the world know that he says, I'm not here, to agree with anybody. I'm not here to disagree with anybody. I'm just here to tell you the truth. And so Teddy Atlas goes in and he says, Teofimo Lopez either needs to lose his father as a trainer or is going to lose his career. And he says that Teofimo Lopez is getting worse. Okay. He's not progressing. He's regressing. Right. And he says that when you look at the corner, there was a time where the corner, where the cameras flashed to the corner and they went to the corner to hear the coach's corner and the advice he was being given. And he stated that, his father had no advice to give him. Like he had no adjustments made against George Kambosos Jr. other than saying, why is this guy still in here? So he says that he did everything Sandor Martin. He said if Sandor Martin had a conversation with Teofimo Lopez before the fight to tell him what he would like Teofimo Lopez to do so he can have success, he said that's what the fight looked like, right? And so then he stated that, Teofimo Lopez cooperated. He was only looking for one punch, and his father didn't have any advice, right? He says, so there was a point in time in the corner where Teofimo Lopez Jr. started telling his father, who's the trainer, what he needed to do to be successful. He says he just couldn't pull it off, right? He was looking for one punch, and he should have been 2 knockdowns should occurred. And then Teddy Atlas, he went in on the commentators. He said that, in the 10th and final round, you would have thought it was Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier, the way they was hooting and hollering and cheering for Teofimo Lopez. Anytime they got close to each other, they didn't even have to throw punches. So he stated that it's unfortunate that Teofimo Lopez, he believes his career is going to be over, right? Because he says that he's never going to get rid of his father because they have a bond, obviously, right? And that's obvious. Teofimo Lopez Sr. and Teofimo Lopez Jr., they started out together. They have a close bond, and clearly he don't want to part ways with his dad. But he definitely needs a new voice in his corner. And then after the fight, Teofimo Lopez is on record, caught on record. And as he's on record, he's stating on record, do I still have it? Do I still have it? Do I still got it? And somebody's telling him, yeah, you still have it. You still have it. But clearly he was concerned, and clearly he was second guessing himself. And so then he tries to clear it up, and he goes, obviously he's embarrassed that was caught on camera and that's put out there. And so he was second guessing himself. And now, Teofimo Lopez, he's like, that was just a ploy. That was just to get people's attention. No, it wasn't. You can clearly see the worries, the concerns on his face. You can clearly see he was sincere, asking whomever from his team if he still has it. It just happened to be caught on camera, and the audio was put out. And, obviously he has to try to, defend it. Okay. And so that's exactly, what Teofimo Lopez is, attempting to do. But nonetheless, like I stated, and like Teddy Atlas stated, he's not going to part ways with his father. He's just simply not going to do that. Okay. And you can clearly see in this fight, there was no adjustments made. You can see in the fight with George Kambosos, there was no adjustments made. And even after the George Kambosos loss, they had every excuse in the book, down to he struggled to make 135 pounds. He couldn't make it anymore. Down to him having an esophagus injury that he nearly transitioned from, that was like a weight sitting on his chest throughout the entire fight. Down to they thought they clearly won the fight. And down to Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn DAZN setting them up to lose the fight, right? So they had every excuse in the book as to why they was not victorious against George Kambosos, and they would be better suited moving up to 140 junior welterweight division. Well, now it clearly shows, right, that, they're definitely not suited, to compete, against certain styles, right? Then he's caught on camera and he's saying after he did in the Nakatani fight, after he fought Nakatani, and people were saying, well, Teofimo Lopez was exposed by Nakatani, right? He and his dad said they no longer wanted to fight tall fighters anymore. They had no interest in fighting tall fighters, okay? And then now against Sandor Martin, who's not much taller than he is, but he's slightly taller, they're back on record saying that they don't want to fight any tall fighters anymore. They're done fighting tall fighters. So, there's a lot of rhyme and reason as to why they're not successful, right? And there's not many adjustments inside the square circle, okay? As to why there's no adjustments inside the square circle to be victorious, okay? So with that said, if Teofimo Lopez was in there with a better talent other than Sandor Martin, and Sandor Martin is a good fighter. He's not a great fighter. He's a very solid fighter. Okay, he's not a overly talented, uber talented power. He doesn't do anything great, right? He's just a very good fighter. Okay, and if that was another fighter like Regis Prograis, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, and even Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez clearly loses that fight, period. So Teddy Atlas is not happy, and he says either he parts ways with his father or he parts ways with his career. And I agree with Teddy Atlas. So let's see how this unfolds moving forward, because Teofimo Lopez has now been ordered and put in position to be the mandatory challenger for Regis Prograis in his WBC title, now that Jose Ramirez has turned down the opportunity to fight Regis Prograis for the belt. Now Teofimo Lopez is in that position. Will he take that fight? Let's see. So that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.